public policies are as old as governments, so whatever be the form, be it oligarchy, monarchy, aristocracy, tyranny, or democracy, whenever and wherever governments have existed, public policies have been formulated and implemented. So, to cope with the varied problems and demands of the people, the government has to make many policies. These policies are called as public policies. And in this video, we are going to try to understand the meaning and the types of public policy. Okay, so first let us understand what is the relationship between politics and public policy. Okay, so the policy making process is a part of politics and political action. According to Gabriel Armand, political system is a set of interactions having structures, each of which perform its functions in order to keep it like an ongoing concern. It is a set of processes that routinely converts inputs into outputs. Okay, and also classifies inputs of the political systems into generic functional categories like political socialization and recruitment, interest aggregation, interest articulation, and political communication. So the output activities are those which are carried on by a political system in response to demands or stresses which have been placed upon the system in the form of inputs. So output can take the form of governmental policies, programs, decisions, etc. Okay, and then there is another model on politics and policy relationship, and this is the feedback, or you can also call it the black box model. Okay, and this was coined by Mr. David Easton. And according to this model, the remaining demands which have not been included in the decisions and the policies will again be fed back through the same process for the purpose of its conversion into decisions. So these two models actually establish a clear relationship between the politics and the policies in a political system. And then there are various studies about the public policy, and many scholars have attempted to define what is the meaning of public policy from different angles. So before explaining the meaning of public policy, let us first go through some of the definitions which have been coined by the various researchers. Okay. So, Robert Eilstone has termed public policy as the relationship of the government unit to its environment. The relationship of the government unit to its environment. Okay, and Thomas R. Dye says that public policy is whatever government chooses to do or not to do. And then there is Richard Rose. Richard Rose has said that public policy is not a decision. It is a course or a pattern of activity. And Carl J. Frederick's opinion has been that public policy is a proposed course of action of a person, group, or government within a given environment, providing opportunities and obstacles which the policy was proposed to utilize and overcome in an effort to reach a goal or realize an objective or purpose. Okay. And from all these definitions, see, one thing is clear, that public policies are governmental decisions, and they are actually the result of the activities which the government undertakes in the pursuance of certain goals and objectives. So it can also be said that public policy formulations and implementation involves a well-planned pattern and, of course, activities. And it requires a thoroughly close-knit relation and interaction between the important governmental agencies, that is political executive, legislature, bureaucracy, and judiciary. So what is the nature of public policy? And so it can be said that, number one, public policies are goal-oriented. Okay, public policies are formulated and implemented in order to attain the objectives which the government has in view for the ultimate benefit of the masses in general. So these policies clearly spell out the programs of the government. Okay. And number two, public policy is the outcome of the government's collective action. It means that it is a pattern, or of course the course of activity, or the governmental officials and actors in collective sense, that being termed as their discrete and segregated decisions. Okay. And then number three, public policy is what the government actually decides or chooses to do. It is the relationship of the government units to the specific fields of political environment in a given administrative system. So it can take a variety of forms like law, ordinances, court decisions, executive orders, decisions, etc. And the number four is that public policy is positive in the sense that it depicts the concern of government and involves its action to a particular problem on which the policy is made. So it has a sanction of law and authority behind it, and it involves a decision by the governmental officials regarding not taking any action on a particular issue as well. Okay.